Hi, writers. Welcome back to the writers' room this week. We did craft last week, and I hope you enjoyed that exercise. And I hope you'll also join us for our masterclass coming up, where I'm going to take you through how to create best-selling, even award-winning book assets. Like, if you look in a book, there are blurbs, right? People say, brilliant conversation, dimmed lights, culinary intrigue. Luke has written one of the most delicious books of all time, Gary Steinhardt, right? So you get these blurbs. There's also dedication. Sometimes it's to one person, to a group of people. There's also about the writer. There's acknowledgments. Who do we thank in our book? All these things, the back cover description. There's all this stuff after we write that we get to create. So please join us on July 27th for a free masterclass. I'm going to give you all my secrets and tips on how to create best-selling book assets. Can't wait for that. Today, we're going to continue with some craft. So I've been sharing what I've been reading all summer. Oh, has it been a good summer of reading? I shared with you, I read Jennifer Egan's Candy House, which I thought was excellent. I've read a bunch of New Yorker stories like I shared. I fell in love with Natalie Diaz's poetry, multiple of her books, incredible stuff. I read a fabulous mind-bending book if you're an entrepreneur, Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. I read Obsessed Not Average by Grant Cardone. This is just the mid-July, still going strong. This is Provence 1970. So I have our wonderful friend Christopher, Stacey Brass Russell's husband, recommended this book to me because I love food. I love food writing. And I spoke with him when I was in New York on the book tour, and he said, you have to read Provence 1970. Now, I'm the kind of crazy person. If someone says that to me, I won't even wait till after the dinner. I'm rudely pulling out my phone and ordering it to be delivered to my house when I return. Actually, first I went to the independent bookstore, but it wasn't in stock. So just want to be in integrity. They didn't have it, so I ordered it and it arrived when I got back from New York. So I just want to read to you how yummy this writing is. This book is about, so I want to talk about writing place, setting. This book is about some of the culinary greats, James Beard, Julia Child, MFK Fisher got together in the south of France was it in 2000? No, when did they get together? They got together basically and had this whole week where they ate and had fun and fought, December 1970. And it sort of shaped the future, the culinary world of America. So it's like everything I want. People I like, descriptions of food. So just listen to how he describes his aunt. This is MFK Fisher, culinary giant. Her great nephew wrote the book, and he's a sensational writer. And he is describing the house where she used to live and where he grew up, coming and eating great food with her. Okay. The house was set back a good distance from the country road, facing a dry, rustling meadow. I drove slowly past a row of large walnut trees covered in extravagant drapings of moss. They were like something out of a dream, alien but beautiful. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I'll just point out two things I think are really nice there. First, I like, instead of just a dry meadow, he adds the adjective rustling, which is really, it's a verb, right? Rustling is active. And isn't that great? But uses it like in the way we would use an adjective. And then I liked large walnut trees covered in extravagant drapings of moss. So she's giving this like interior design image, but in nature. Thought that was very cool. And then they were like something out of a dream, alien, but beautiful, right? This is like what Freud would talk about in the uncanny, Heimlich and unheimlich. I mean, it's both familiar and scary and unfamiliar. And that's what creates like the creepiness that some of us like in literature and movies and such. So that's just like a tiny example of someone doing some really nice ass writing. And then he says there was a bathtub. This is a later description, and a shower from which jets of water shot out in all directions. That's a very childlike. He's an adult writing this book, but he's describing how he remembers the house as a child. Jets of water shooting out in all directions. You can picture a kid being like, wow, at our house, we just have a shower head, right? The bathroom walls were painted a dark Pompeian red. Isn't that great? I love that adjective. He didn't just say a dark maroon red or a dark blood red or a dark velvet red, Pompeian. So if you think about Pompeii and the volcano, it's like dramatic. So this is just some nice writing. And so our homework this week, first of all, what are you reading? What are you loving? What's lighting you up and feeling delicious that you're reading right now? I want to hear about it. And then if you take a writer who does a great sense of sensory description, like Luke Barr does here, and just play with sensory description. Instead of writing red, what kinds of reds? He took Pompeii and the volcano. So you take something else. Take, a blue from Greece, Aegean blue, right? I think about when I was in Greece and the color of the Aegean Sea. I'd never seen the Aegean Sea. And I know some people say Aegean. So whichever way you pronounce it, and the way the sun was like colossal rising over that sea. And we would get up in the morning and meditate when it was still the moon and then the sun. So you have like all the elements. So great. So the point is, sensual writing is our homework this week. How can you not just say red, but Pompeian red? That's your homework. And I'll see you next week.